Unfortunately, these do take 9 to 12 months. These are not quick injuries. It takes time for that tendon to heal in. It takes time for it to really be able to start to stretch it again. He'll be in a Cam Walker boot, and then with each periodic week after a certain period of time, they will remove some of the heel lifts, we call them, to make that stretch and stretch and stretch. And then eventually he will work his course of the way through rehab in order to be able to actually start to put weight on it and push off and so on and so forth. And at that point, you'll finally be able to see him being semi-normal. The good thing is he's not a regular 40-year-old per se. He'll be 40 at the end of the year. So I think there's a very good chance he comes back. He's owed a lot of money. And I don't think this is how he wants to go out. At least that's my personal opinion. There's too many things. He got reinvigorated when he went to New York. It's completely different than Green Bay. And now it's like everything just got taken away in 4 plays. So I think he will be back next year. I think he's got a new fire. He's been playing regularly without any injuries since 2018. Basically, he had COVID. That was it. So in general, I think he's going to be back. He's got a heck of a year of rehab ahead of him, and it will take some time, but it has been done, and I think he will do it. So we have a big database at the Fantasy Doctors, predominantly of wide receivers and running backs, of all of these ACLs and all these different injuries. It's just not common in quarterbacks. I mean, we just don't see it. So I'm trying to remember the past 20 or 30 years, and there really isn't any data to support that Achilles being torn. So as the 3 you mentioned, there's probably a couple more, but those are the main big name guys. Marino, probably the biggest name there. He was able to play 5 or 6 more years. I mean, yes, he was 32 or 3 when he tore it, but he's still an elite player, and he was not 20. So I think with the techniques they have nowadays, with the rehab they have, with some of the stem cells and the stuff that I specialize in, I really don't have a whole lot of concerns about him coming back, assuming he wants to push through and come back.
The ball rolling.
I think it will get a discussion. I think the owners are a collective group of billionaires, and they're probably going to get their way regardless of what happens. There was initially some rumblings. I live in Miami. That Messi would not play similar icon. I mean, probably much bigger, globally, but reportedly, I don't think it's true, but he wouldn't play on turf fields. And he was basically asking indirectly if they would all convert to grass when he plays there, which is a crazy demand, but of someone of that caliber, you could justify it. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but players play better on grass. They like grass better, most of them. And I think it's many of the things they injured that I mentioned. But I also think about what's under turf. Concrete. Concrete is not giving. There's nothing giving about concrete. So what happens if you slam your head, like Tua last year, on concrete? You're probably going to get a concussion. There's no give. So I think that's just another thing that they should be like, we've tried, just go to grass. Yes, I know it's more upkeep. Yes, I know weather plays a factor or whatever, but I think in the long run, it's probably a better decision, and it will lead to happier and probably healthier players.
And then,
so the good news is that he's not much of a mobile quarterback anymore. He had wheels, or at least movement back in the day. That's not him anymore. He's strategic. He's surgical. And the good thing about this is it's not an ACL, so it doesn't impact significant mobility. And he doesn't really need to be explosive per se. Yes, he needs to get out of the way and whatnot. But so I don't think it's going to impact him. The arm should still be fine, assuming no other weird stuff and injuries. The brain is still there, and that plays a significant role in this as well. So I don't really have any concerns per se, just based on this injury, that he's anything less than 95, 98, 100%. Yes, age, another year, it plays the role. But from this specific injury, this is probably one of the ones that, yes, it's detrimental to his season, but I don't think it's enough to say, yes, he's not going to be the same quarterback next year.